What's going on, everybody? Jeff Rose at Good Financial Sense and SoldierOfFinance.com. Today I've got one of the coolest, one of the sexiest, which we'll explain here in a little bit, guests I've ever had. We've got Jay Money, who by far has one of the most dynamic hairdos that I've ever come across. As the Hawk. Does that have a name, by the way, or you just call it the Hawk?
It's the Jayhawk.
The Jayhawk.
Yeah,
of course.
My blogging hawk. Now that I work from home, I only put it up on special occasions.
That's awesome. Jay Money from the blog Budgets Are Sexy. He's been blogging for quite some time. I actually had the honor and privilege of meeting Jay Money at a recent USAA function down in San Antonio, Texas. And he and I were able to visit the Alamo for each of our first times. We did not find Pee Wee's bicycle in the basement, unfortunately. Sorry if anybody doesn't get that, but anyway. But no, Jay has been. From his blog, I could tell that he's one of the cooler bloggers out there. And one of the coolest things was by reading somebody's blog, you kind of get this image of who they might be. And as I told him, I had no vision of what he was as far as with the mohawk. And just being a really cool and down-to-earth guy. And so that's why I really wanted to bring him on here. He's got a great blog going on with Budgets Are Sexy, and he also has an awesome project called Love Drop, which we're definitely going to talk about here in a minute. But first, Jay, I just want, for people that don't know you, tell us a little bit about your blog and how you kind of got started in the blogging scene.
Oh, man. Yeah, so my blog is budgetsaresexy.com, and I actually got started when I bought a house when I shouldn't have, and to this day, 5 years later, is the one thing that I'm still dealing with after all these years. But I started looking online for help because I didn't know how to budget. I didn't know how to do anything. I just bought a house, didn't even put $1 down, thought I was doing the American dream, let's get it going, and I realized that I needed help. So I started researching online. I kept coming across these sites, and I was like, what are these? They're not websites, but they're not, they're like diaries. And My Money blog was one of the first ones I went to, and he had all his financials posted up. And I thought, this is so cool that someone's actually putting up his money every month so that we can all learn and grow from it, which is really cool. So I was like, oh, I can do that. And, I don't like to write, but I can just type out my thoughts and see what happens. And, misspellings and grammatical errors, and it worked. And I did that maybe about 4 years ago now. Wow. Started doing it as a hobby, and then slowly over time got addicted, like you and probably many other people are reading and watching. And yeah, so here we are, and I'm doing it full time and loving it. I mean, every day I wake up and I get to do it, and it's fun. I love it so much.
So, I think one of the questions I'm sure that you probably get asked a lot is, whenever you go and choose your blog name, that was a process that took me, a few weeks to kind of find what I thought was the perfect. Actually, I thought I found the perfect one, but somebody else had the idea before me.
Right.
So what led you down to choosing Budgets Are Sexy for your site name?
Actually, it's funny. I was with my wife, actually my fiance at the time, and we had to go to like a Catholic training over the weekend before we get married to make sure, everything was good and whatnot. And the whole time I kept thinking about the blog stuff, and I was like, oh, I have to do it. And I came up with, it was right when Justin Timberlake's I'm Bringing Sexy Back was on. And I was like, oh, no, I have to do something with JT, right?
Yeah.
I was like, all right, something sexy that, but, the only thing I knew about blogging is I would look at other people's blog roll. And the ones at the top of it were the ones that I would click first, and then maybe if I got lucky, I went to the bottom. Mm-hmm. So I thought I was smart choosing one like in the A, B, C. So I was like, what starts to be like budget? Maybe I could do that. And at first I actually had savings as sexy, and that was taken. So then I went with budgets, and I was like, oh, let's just try it. And I created my first budget like the day that I pretty much started my blog, which is kind of funny. And now it's funny because everyone asks me how to budget and and all this stuff, and I like them and I think they're awesome. But I just like talking about money in general. Right. But now I'm like the budget man, which is kind of funny because, I've only been doing it for a few years. So,
yeah. So, since the day that you started your blog to where you're at today, how has blogging about, personal finance with your own financial history, how has that helped you, I guess, and just kind of along the way?
I would say the number one thing is tracking, just holding myself accountable. Now whenever I do something, whether I buy something for a couple dollars or a couple $1,000s, I know that at some point during the month I'm going to have to blog about it because, I put my financials up there every month. Here's what I have in my savings, checking, credit card, whatever. And so I know no matter what I do, even if I try to hide it, it's going to show up when I go to run the numbers at the end of the month and tell everyone, hey, here's the update. And I don't have to. I can, get around it and stuff. But I feel like, for me, that holds me accountable. And it actually, since I've done that, for the last few years, like every single time I make a purchase or do something, the first thing that I think about is how am I going to explain this on the blog, which is kind of funny because now my blog life has actually affected so much of my real life. And I think that's the biggest change that I've seen over the years. In the beginning, I didn't really care. I was like, oh, I'll just blog. Oh, I did something stupid. Haha, this is funny. And I'll still blog about it and kind of be like, hey, all of us, that blog, we even make mistakes too. Right. But now it's in my head, like, don't, set a better example for myself, for others. So I think it just affects my real life, when I'm out and about. Yeah.
That's great. Have you had any people that have like stumbled across your blog that maybe they've been readers for quite some time and maybe they've learned something from you that's kind of giving you that, wow, that's really cool. Like through my own personal journey, I've been able to help other people.
Yeah, of course. And I've been anonymous for so long. I mean, I've just recently, because of Love Drop, have come out more. I've at least shown my face and being in videos and even Skype interviews like this. But so I don't really get it in person unless I say that I'm, Jay from Budgets Are Sexy. But, a couple times a week, maybe I'll get an email saying, hey, thanks for that post you did, 8 months ago that I stumbled across, like, affected me this way. And really, that's like the one thing that keeps me going. Like without that, I'd still do it and it'd still be fun. But that really like hits home, like, okay, like, even if I'm having a crappy day or I think my blog, post for that day is, shit, for example, sorry for cursing, then that makes you feel better. It's like, oh my gosh, like I have these haters, but now like I have one person that just took the time and spent, 30 seconds to say thanks. That makes it makes a big difference. And actually in Gmail, I have a little thing that says like lovers. And like I label it, so anytime I'm having a bad day, I just go up like, okay, that makes it feel good. Because people love you, but then you got the haters too. So you just do what you can.
Wow, that's great. I mean, and I think even for me as well, like because people don't realize all the time it goes in like just writing blog posts, researching blog posts, and then the editing, and then dealing with power outages and everything else. I mean, there's so much, and to kind of keep that going, I mean, it's a lot. And then, the people come and hate on you because of whatever reason, because they got nothing better to do. It just gets frustrating. So you got to have those people that you feel that you influence that are helping. And I get an email not every day, but every once in a while I say thanks for the newsletter, thanks for that blog post, thanks for whatever. And those are the little things that kind of keep me going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just kind of like if I'm doing it for nothing, it's like, what's the point?
It's pretty cool.
Now, other than Budgets Are Sexy, I know that you've had some other sites like Giveaways Are Sexy. Is there like a Coupons Are Sexy? Is that correct?
Yeah, it launched today, kind of, sort of.
Okay. Are those the only two that you still kind of run, or are there some other Are Sexy sites out there?
No, those are the only Are Sexy ones. And I have a whole bunch of ideas in my head. Like I'm a GoDaddy, addict. So I probably have like 10 Are Sexys. And I test them and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But yeah, right now it's just Giveaways Are Sexy and then Coupons Are Sexy possibly in the future. Even though right now it's just attached to Budgets Are Sexy. But and then Love Drop, which, we'll probably talk about soon. But, that's more my philanthropy project that helps me to give back more, really. Yeah.
And actually, that's a great lead-in. I'm not really sure. I don't think I was aware of Love Drop when it first came out, and I can't even really remember what got me there. I don't know if it was a Twitter or something. And I think I told you down in San Antonio, it was the one with the teacher that you gave away the first car.
Oh yeah.
I'm sitting there watching this video, and like I'll admit it, I might lose some data points for this one, but like I'm like busting out tears, for this story. And I mean, the videos are just amazing. I mean, they really tell the story. People just in tremendous hardship that really need help. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, so kind of tell us about Love Drop. Tell us what got you started, what was kind of the motivation behind it, and then just kind of like how it's evolved over the past few months.
Yeah, so the whole idea for Love Drop, at least for me, I'm only one half of it. My business partner, Nate St. Pierre from It Starts With Us and Drop a Love Bomb is the other side. But pretty much the way it started for me is I wanted to be better about giving back. You know, like I would blog about making money, saving money, saving money. It's all good and great, and you know, we need that to live and whatnot and to live a good life. But I kept having the problem myself of sucking at like giving back. And I realized is that whenever I'd give to the American Red Cross or some of these other organizations that were awesome, and they still are, and I love what they do, the problem that I had is I never saw where my money went.
Yeah.
You know, and not only that, but then I'd get pinged, you know, another 2 weeks, a month later saying, oh, hey, can you give us more money? And it's like, I don't even know what happened to the first money. And yeah, I can read the site and I can learn and all that kind of stuff and know in theory where it goes. But I personally need to physically either see it or know like from the beginning where it's going. And so what I started doing was thinking, well, maybe I can get all these bloggers to pitch in a couple dollars and we'll find someone that we personally know to help. And that was the original thinking on my part, you know, because for me, like, you know, like I wanted to see where it was going, like I said. And so, you know, a friend introduced me to Nate, who actually does personal philanthropy, giving back time. So he runs all these websites, says, hey, you know, give me 15 minutes of your time once a week. I'm going to email you, you know, 5,000 of you, do this for 15 minutes. And people would do it. And it would be like nice things like go hug someone today or say hi to your neighbor or write a letter to someone that you haven't talked to in like a year. Yeah. You know, it's really cool stuff. When I met him, I was like, oh, I've had this idea of actually giving back money, the same kind of concept, but like $1. And he was like, well, I want to do financial stuff too, and I don't know how to do that. So we kind of joined forces, you know, my financial background and his, you know, philanthropy time background. And that's kind of where Love Drop started last year. And actually last year we thought about it, tried to make it a charity, realized that legally there's some roadblocks in there. And so we said, you know what, let's just launch it out one day. You know, like, let's see what happens and then go from there and just make it just a website, you know, a company, whatever, not a legal, you know, 501c3. You know, we did it probably at like 11 at night last October saying, hey guys, this is what we're doing. We had a video, let's see what happens. And within like 24 hours, we had about $1,500 that people gave.
Wow.
And we're like, wow, this is cool. Okay. So then we decided to launch officially Jan 1. And the whole concept is, hey, we're going to help one person a month. Anyone that's our member, you know, and you can be a member by giving $1 or giving a product or whatever. Anyone that's a member can nominate someone they think needs help, and we'll review them and we'll find the ones that we think we can help and make people feel good. And we'll call them up and say, hey, we're going to interview, we're going to film you, we're going to put you on our site. You know, it's going to be positive. We're not going to say, oh, you know, feel bad for me kind of thing. This is a situation, you know, they're giving back, you know, and usually people we help give back in some form or another. And let's put it out there and raise money that month. At the end of the month, we'll go to their house, we'll film it, we'll show up, we'll celebrate with them and give them everything our community did. It'll be like a fun kind of extreme home makeover kind of thing, just different, you know, every month. Yeah. You know, and that car one was the cool one because one of our dreams was to give away a car. And it's hard to do, you know, like, and we only have 30 days to turn it around. And so that one was a car. And I think since launching in January, so it's been 9 months now, we've given out about $65,000 worth of stuff, money, gifts, cars. It's pretty amazing. All from, you know, thousands of people online just giving back $1 or $2 or whatever they want. Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And you know, I'm going to have some of the videos underneath here so people can check it out. So if you are one of those extreme home makeover addicts, you know, where you love, you know, they move that bus and the families are crying and everybody's crying. I mean, you will get that same reaction watching some of these videos. I mean, because these people are in that similar situation. And I can't imagine how good that must feel for you and for Nate to actually show up, you know, on location to present them, you know, with the check or, you know, the gifts and all that and be there. I mean, how good does that feel?
You know, it's funny. There's two answers I can give right now. One of them is yes, it definitely feels good. But the other, it kind of feels not selfish, but there's some part of it that actually, for me, feels weird because it's not Nate and I that actually raised the money or got the stuff. Yep. And we're there and we're the ones being filmed and we look like the good celebrity kind of guys. Like, hey, guys, we're here and we're giving you all the stuff. So because it's our whole team, it's our whole community, right? There's like 3,000 people a month that do something. Yeah. So we always have to say, hey, we're physically here, but we're on behalf of our whole group. So it's kind of weird because we get this like, oh, you guys are angels, you guys are perfect. And, you know, we're not. I mean, that's why I say for me, like, I suck at giving back. Yeah. Like, this is the first time for me that I'm actually doing it for once in my life. So it feels good to help people and stuff. I just wish that everyone on the team could be there to celebrate or do it with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes people do, and they'll show up and present for us and stuff. But overall, we love that we can basically harness all of our online skills and our networking to actually do good. And that for instead of all trying to do something good for myself, it's cool to say, hey, we can turn it around and help other people. And it's kind of cool and it's kind of scary, because you can say, hey, we have $3,000-$4,000. Let's help someone, and we have to trust that they're good people, that we know them, that there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but but overall, yeah, it definitely feels good. We're glad we're doing it for sure.
I mean, I know I can almost empathize with what you're saying, but I mean, the one thing I'll say is, we give to our church, we donate to some charities, but I don't give back as much as I should, and to see that you two have taken the liberty to put this whole thing together. I mean, I know this is a lot of time involved. Just making that effort, I think it says a lot just about your guys' character. So, I mean, I know you said you want the whole team to be there, but by you filming and just like showing the reactions from these people, I mean, I know it's not as good as being there, but at least that you can record that to show everybody. I think for all the online people, I think that's as good as, as close to being there as we can.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and that's what we do, and that's the whole thing. Was filming that last drop is so important for us because if you knit, like someone knit this whole blanket that had Love Drop in their name and everything a couple months ago, and they did it 2 weeks before we actually physically showed up there. And within 2 weeks, they can now see their blanket on TV or on film, video. And it was cool. That's our favorite part of the whole drop is showing. Once it's over, we're like, oh, cool, relieved, it went well. Just as a company, as an organization, no problems. We film it. And then we start all over again the next day, and we start helping another family start from scratch. So it's a lot of work for sure, but there's ups and downs, just like anything that you do, any projects you work on.
For anybody that wants to get involved in Love Drop, tell us how to do it, where to go, and what type of ways we can get involved.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of ways, and it all depends on what you're comfortable with, what you like doing. But if you go to lovedrop.us, lovedrop.us. You can see our site, and there's ways you can just give $25 one time. You can sign up subscription $1 a month, $5. Some people like to get really involved and email with us, and actually every time we help someone do something customized for them, whether it's write them letters, whether it's knit them scarves or whatever it is that they need help with. So some people do that, and then others are like, hey, we believe in your organization. We just want to give you a couple dollars every month and kind of forget about it, but know that they're still doing good. So they'll sign up through PayPal, through our website, and give $5 a month, and check in every now and then to see who we're helping. And then others will be more affected by one person. The one you talk about, Joy, with the car. It took one person to look at that happened to be getting rid of her car, that happened to be a really cool person. And she happened to really relate to the story because Joy was a teacher. And this girl I gave the car, Britt, was just loves that. And I think she was actually a teacher at one point. And she said, oh my gosh, I need to give her my car. And it was a Ford Mustang convertible.
Yeah.
And it was a nice car.
Yeah.
And so that was her way of giving back. She didn't give money, she didn't give time, she just gave a car. So it all really depends on what people want to do and how they're affected. But yeah, lovedrop.us, you can read all about the people we're helping and who you want to help, or in which way you want to give back. Yeah.
And I'll have some links to the site and some screen captures here so people can see it. So I encourage you to please check it out. $1 a month, $5 a month, set up automatically. It's really easy to do, and you get to see where your money's going, like you said. I think that's awesome. Anything in closing you'd like to share? Anything interesting, fun that's going on in your life right now?
Besides a billion power outages?
Yeah, besides that.
A word to the people that want to work full time at home, like you have power outages. It's really annoying. No, I don't know when this video is going live, but if you're going to be at the Financial Blogger Conference, FinCon, we'll be there, and Love Drop will be hosting the service project right before it all starts on that Friday. So it'll be cool. You can meet the Love Drop team. I think there's 50 or 60 people RSVP'd already to it.
Wow.
So it should be really good times to hang out and meet people.
What time is it on Friday again?
I believe it's at 3 o'clock, like 3 to 6.
Okay.
Yeah, people just meet in the lobby. We'll bus over there. We'll actually make care packages for people with cancer patients, and then we'll have some pizza, and then the conference will start. So it'll be a fun time just to relax and meet your fellow bloggers and do some good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that puts me to get this thing edited and uploaded before then, so we'll do it.
Sneaky.
Yeah. Hey, Jay, I just want to thank you for taking some time to come on Skype with me. It's been a blast, and maybe we'll do it again sometime. And I'll be seeing you in a few weeks, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, Jay. See you, buddy.
All right, bye.